I'm Rajika Reed. This video will focus on what birth control is and how it works. Birth control, or contraception, is the deliberate use of an artificial method or other technique to prevent pregnancy as a consequence of sexual intercourse. It is important to note that although birth control prevents pregnancy, it does not always protect against sexually transmitted diseases. So let's start by looking at how it works. This is a diagram of the female anatomy. Eggs are produced in the ovaries, and when released, they travel down the fallopian tubes to implant in the uterus. The next diagram shows the path sperm travels to reach the egg. As you can see, the sperm enters the vagina, moves through the cervix into the uterus, and then down the fallopian tube to find the egg. Once it fertilizes the egg, it moves into the uterus to implant and grow. Effective methods of birth control are divided into two main categories. They can either act as a physical barrier to prevent the sperm from coming into contact with the egg, or use chemicals, such as hormones, to alter the environment so fertilization cannot occur upon contact. This next chart gives a quick overview of the different methods of birth control. As you can see, the methods listed on the top of the page are most effective. This is mainly because they're more permanent, and therefore there is less room for human error with these. So let's take a break now and take a quick quiz. You can pause the video after you hear the question while thinking or writing down your answer. The first question is, how many broad categories of birth control are there? The answer is 2. There are 2 broad categories, which leads me to my next question. What are the 2 broad categories of birth control options? The answer is barrier methods and hormonal methods. Let's start by looking at some hormonal methods. The birth control pill is the most commonly used hormonal contraception. It contains synthetic estrogen and progesterone in pill form to be taken daily. Similar to the pill is the shot, only given once every 3 months. Both the patch and the vaginal ring are also prescription hormonal methods. The patch, like a band-aid, is a small, square adhesive worn on the skin to release hormones through the skin. The vaginal ring is a flexible ring that a woman inserts in the vagina to release hormones in the vagina. Next, we move on to the male condom. This is one of the best known and most widely used methods of birth control, although still not used enough. Condoms are a barrier method of birth control as it covers the penis and catches the sperm after a man ejaculates. Both male and female condoms can be purchased at drugstores and do not require a prescription. The female condom is a lubricated polyurethane sheath. It is inserted into the vagina. The closed end covers the cervix. Like the male condom, it is intended for one-time use and then discarded. It's inserted before intercourse and acts as a barrier method by preventing sperm from reaching the uterus. The diaphragm is a prescription method that you have to be fitted for. It fits inside the vagina and covers the cervix. It functions by physically blocking the sperm, and the spermicide also kills the sperm. As you can see, there are many different sizes, and I'd also like to point out that they don't have holes in the middle like these do. These are just samples that are used for teaching. Similar to the diaphragm is the cervical cap. It is a small, thin latex or plastic dome-shaped device, smaller than a diaphragm. It is designed to fit completely over the cervix. A healthcare professional will need to fit you for it after a pelvic exam. Spermicide is placed on the outer rim of the cap and in the portion of the cap facing the vagina. The cervical cap prevents pregnancy by blocking the sperm from entering the uterus. This, too, is a barrier method of birth control. The sponge can be bought without a prescription and is a donut-shaped device made of soft foam that is coated with spermicide. The spermicide kills sperm upon contact. And that is an overview of the different methods of birth control available to young women. So let's take one more quiz question. Of the methods discussed, what are the birth control options that protect against pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections? The answer: the female condom and the male condom. So I hope this served as an overview of the birth control options available to young women. Many of them need to be discussed with your healthcare provider, but there are some options you can purchase and try for yourself. So just to recap, we divided birth control options into two major categories: barrier methods and hormonal methods. Under the barrier methods, options include the male condom, the female condom. Both of these can just be purchased at the drugstores. The diaphragm, and as a reminder, you do need to be fitted for the diaphragm, so you need to see a healthcare professional for that. The cervical cap, also something that you need to be fitted for. And the sponge. The sponge is something that you can also buy over the counter at your local drugstore. Under the hormonal methods, options include the pill, which is a prescription, the shot, also a prescription, the patch, another prescription, and the ring, another prescription. It's important to note that within these options, the male condom, female condom, and the sponge are the only ones you do not need a script for, you can get at the drugstore. And within that, the male condom and female condom are the only methods that protect against sexually transmitted diseases and pregnancy. Well, so the good news is that you have lots of great options you can discuss with your provider. And the other news is that 99% of sperm fail, but the 1% that don't are really good at what they do. So good luck.